Oh, that makes me really sad.
Hey, what's up? I'm Brock.
I'm Tay.
And in this video, we are going to...
Get coffee. I'm still a little sleepy.
It's early in the morning.
It's 9:45.
It's almost 10 a.m.
We did a Spartan race yesterday, okay? My chest is so sore, it hurts to drive.
But in this video, we asked you to give us your anonymous assumptions about us. And so in this video, we are going to blind react. We have like 50 of them, and we haven't read any of them, so...
I'm really scared.
Scared, nervous, a little bit excited. Here we go. So this was done using an app called NGL.
You know what it reminds me of?
Ask FM from when we were in high school.
Yeah, I have like PTSD from that. We were dating when that was like a thing too.
Ask FM was this website where you could just anonymously send messages to anyone, and that's very problematic for 14-year-olds.
Yeah, some people are so mean.
This is how many we have. That's a lot. We don't argue at all.
No.
Definitely not. We had an argument this morning already because of...
You forgot to wash the pillowcases.
It's a whole thing. But anyways, we argue all the time just like any other couple. I sometimes feel that Brock, as emotional as Tay is...
We're both very in touch with our emotions, but I would say different scenarios bring up emotions more for you versus me.
Yeah, you want to have 2 kids.
Maybe 3. I think it just depends.
2 or 3.
What the first 2 are.
If the first 2 are chill, we could go for a 3rd. Do you honestly think you are better than your followers?
Oh, that makes me really sad. No, I don't think I'm better than any of our followers, and I'm really sorry if I've made you feel that way.
We made one joke the other day about how we haven't watched TV in like a month, and then we posted a meme about like I'm better than you.
It's about?
Maybe people didn't realize that was sarcasm.
It was definitely just, we're very
sarcastic
and very I don't know, we just crack jokes a lot and mess around even with each other and stuff.
Yeah.
So if that's what it was, we were definitely just joking.
We don't actually think we're better than you. You are truly best friends.
Yeah.
I assume you guys have what it takes to go the distance because of your ability to seek necessary help if needed. Both of you have a strong conviction but are also open to learn.
Oh,
thank you.
I like that assumption.
Thank you. Yeah. A lot of people are assuming that we don't argue at all.
Oh man, you guys. Okay, well, I gotta say, this kind of took some learning for Brock. I differentiate between an argument and a discussion, and so we definitely disagree on things and we have differing beliefs and opinions, but as far as actual arguments, we still have those, but they're way less often. We have disagreements every day. Fight
is something that we
never do.
There's a difference between a fight, a disagreement, an argument, a debate. I feel like Tay is the dominant person who gets their own way oftentimes in the relationship.
Yeah, I would say, well, I'm just more strongly opinionated about certain things. So it's not that I take priority or anything like that. It's just that most of the time, if someone is going to have an opinion about something, it's more likely going to be me than you. You're a lot more chill that way.
This assumption is you both grew up extremely privileged. I grew up quite privileged. Definitely. I grew up quite privileged. I don't love that people assume that about me, but that's true.
I definitely had some privilege. I look very white. My family is upper middle class. But I also had some major disadvantages. So I struggle to say I was very privileged.
You were, I wouldn't say you were extremely privileged.
Yeah, but I did have some privilege.
Your privilege completely outweighs your reality.
I would hope not.
Yeah.
I mean, if it did, I guess we wouldn't really know. I think that one of my biggest fears as we've gotten more and more successful was that I would kind of get out of touch. So I try really, really hard not to. And I think what keeps me in touch is that we have friends that we had in college and in high school, and I hear about their living situations and what rent is like in all parts of the country. And I think that keeps me aware versus if we only hung out with Jeff Bezos, we might be very far out of touch.
Yeah, we don't hang out with him that often.
Every once in a while.
But like, I think also just our answer to the previous assumption, which is that we both recognize our privilege.
Yeah.
I think that suggests that our privilege does not completely outweigh our reality because we're able to recognize and address our privilege.
Yeah.
That you're pretend entrepreneurs who fake being successful on Instagram for follows. That's a bold assumption.
That's a bold assumption simply because I don't know how we could fake. Like, I don't even know where you would start with like faking success when it comes to any aspect of life.
There are fake entrepreneurs who rent out fancy cars for like videos, and they'll like rent out a fancy home for a day and film a bunch of stuff there and pretend that that's their home. That's a thing. And they buy fake followers and they buy fake engagement.
But yeah, no, not true.
You're Mormons. Well, we're living together and we're not married.
And we drink coffee like 4 times a day.
So no, we're not Mormon.
You almost were.
My best friend growing up was Mormon. I wasn't almost Mormon. That you're all up a solid couple because you're working on all the right things and you're a team and you're supportive, and I think you're lifers.
Aww,
thank you.
Thanks.
That you watch Seinfeld to go to sleep.
I've never watched Seinfeld in my life.
I've maybe watched a couple of episodes ever, so no.
I don't even know what it's about.
No soup for you.
Tay is the alpha in the relationship.
Hundo P.
You prefer an active day with sports adventures over a lazy day watching movies on the couch.
Yes.
100%.
100%.
We both get anxious if we just lay around for
Yeah,
too long.
like we'll wake up on Saturday and be like, do you want to make it like a rest day and we'll just chill? And by like 11 a.m., I'm looking at him. I'm saying, well, what are we going to do today? I'm bored.
Yeah, like today we had hard workouts on Friday. We did a Spartan race on Saturday. And today we're both very beat up and sore, but I guarantee you we'll go surfing or we will go for a walk or a bike ride or go play pickleball.
Yeah.
We'll end up doing something.
We get antsy.
Brock always apologizes first. That is
Yes.
correct. That's a good assumption.
Yeah, I worked on it in therapy. I really struggle. It's actually like it used to just be with apologizing, and right now I just kind of still get stuck with like the actual phrase of a usual apology, which is I'm sorry. So our workaround is like me saying a different version of I'm sorry. That's easier for me to say. Pro tip, if anyone else struggles with apologizing, trying to figure out what about the apology is hard and finding a workaround.
This assumption is one of you wants kids soon, but the other doesn't.
No.
We're both on the same page about when we want kids. One of us wants a dog soon, and the other one wants to wait until we have a yard and more space and etc. That you want to get another dog.
Yep. Yep. What gave it away?
This assumption is Tay had a rough childhood and is learning to be self-aware, and she is on her healing journey, and that's why she chose such a healthy guy like Brock, because she knew he could love her unconditionally.
Yeah, that's pretty true. If you don't follow my personal account, I don't have a relationship with my dad, and Brock has been a huge part of like me working through that.
I did not write that one. And neither did you, I don't think.
No.
You were the cool kids in high school.
I don't know.
I was the quarterback, prom king, homecoming king, but I don't know if I was like the cool one. I was just kind of in that role.
Yeah, I think there wasn't a strict like popular group. Like there were a lot of groups that would all like get together for parties and stuff, but there wasn't like one like that's the cool kids.
And I didn't go to parties, so I wasn't in that
I
group.
went to parties.
You are both going to be badass parents. The way you teach your furry kids is a great indicator that you'll be very good parents.
I actually just
Thank
had
you.
this conversation with my mom.
Really?
I said, the way that people treat their dogs is like a direct reflection of what kind of parents they're going to be. Because if you can't be patient with a dog who doesn't have even the same level of understanding or close to that of a child, then that's a really good reflection of how patient you're going to be with like a kid.
You are not religious or / you don't attend church. We don't currently attend a church since we moved back to Southern California. I wouldn't say we're super religious. I'm more faith-oriented or spiritual.
I definitely have beliefs. I think I struggle with where to align myself, but I have been baptized. Like I used to go to church very regularly.
You both work very hard, but you also came from semi-wealthy or privileged backgrounds, and you have lots of family support, not just money support.
Yeah,
That's pretty
super
fair.
true. I have like the most supportive family.
Yeah.
they would take out a loan to like fly across the country and watch me race.
You two have your life so put together that I'd be intimidated to really know you. You just seem so perfect.
Oh my gosh.
We're so far from perfect.
Yeah.
I hope we don't seem like we have it all put together.
No, we don't have it put together.
We should say things like this more on Tay and Brock, because like I'll say this on my personal, but like yeah,
like not the high. I mean, it's just really hard to find a line between this is me being authentic and this is me oversharing or sharing just something too personal that I'm not comfortable with sharing.
Or sharing things that are negative and it comes across like you're complaining all the time and you're just focused on all these negative. So like on social media sometimes it's a tough line to find. You eat very healthy food and never really eat junk food.
That's pretty true.
That's pretty true. We never eat fast food.
The only thing that we don't even consider junk food that we eat very regularly is ice cream.
Yeah, we have like ice cream or like a little dessert after dinner, but like
I think if junk food is like drive-through
or like chips or Cheetos, things like that.
Yeah.
So this isn't an assumption, this is a question, but they said what help or how much money did your parents give you to get started?
Well, I got started when Brock and I were together. I paid for all of my own schooling. I still have a crap ton of student loans to pay off. And I paid for, or I'm working on paying off my grad school. I completely paid for my life coaching program. I have paid for everything that I've put into my business. I paid people to design my website and everything. So that was all from me. And I was able to do that because I was working at the time.
When I was in college, I had a credit card that I used for groceries, and that was it. That's why sometimes I get defensive when people bring up the silver spoon and your parents gave you anything. I am very privileged, and my parents are quite well off, and my parents could very easily pay for everything that we do in our lives together. But I felt this guilt or this burden when I got to my freshman year of college because I was around a bunch of other college football players who couldn't provide for themselves in the same way that my parents were providing for me. And so the only way that I could maintain the habits and the lifestyle that I wanted to have without just having the silver spoon and relying on my parents was to start my own business. And so when I was 19, I started my own business. So yeah, most 25-year-olds don't live the life we have, but also most 25-year-olds haven't been running a business for 6 or 7 years. And my parents gave me a ton, like education-wise, speaking specifically in college, like they gave me a ton of education and advice and resources, and they have big social media followings, so like they were able to help me out with publicity, I guess, but monetarily, no.
Yeah, I feel like there's the assumption that it takes like hundreds of thousands of dollars to start a business. And I think that's where like this assumption that like your parents loaned us hundreds of thousands of dollars and that's why we're where we're at.
My father gave me a small loan of $1 million.
Just know that it doesn't have to cost a ton of money to get started.
Just for posting content, you can get paid and make a pretty serious income if you're consistent enough.
Sometimes you can be perceived as a bit of an asshole, but then once people get to know you, they see that you're nice. I don't think Brock is ever perceived as like an asshole.
I was in high school.
In
apparently.
high school, I thought
I've learned
he was
that
a huge asshole.
I've learned that after the fact. I didn't know that in high school, but I guess people perceived me that way.
I think that I can come across asshole-ish sometimes, but not because I am, just because I'm very blunt and I say exactly what's on my mind and I'm not afraid to stand up for myself. With women in particular, that's a lot more frowned upon. And if you do stand up for yourself, or if you are super opinionated, people think that that's you being bitchy. I'm doing nothing different than a man is. I'm supposed to be small and quiet, and I refuse to be.
That you have been to more than 4 national parks.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely. Pause.
Yeah, we'll pause. Brock is more extroverted than Tay.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm an introvert.
I'm definitely an extrovert. You both had healthy modeling of what a good relationship is like growing up.
You definitely did.
I feel like I definitely did.
I had a little bit of both. I had, in one household, I was modeled a really, really unhealthy relationship. And then in the other household, I was modeled a super, super healthy relationship. So when I got older, I realized that I kind of took a little bit from both, unfortunately. And I had to work really hard to remove the habits that I picked up from the unhealthy relationship that was modeled. But my mom and my stepdad are phenomenal. They actually just had their 15-year anniversary.
That Brock's parents pay for a lot for you. Zero. They're paying for the wedding,
Okay.
but besides the wedding, which I feel like is common for parents to pay for the wedding, no, they haven't paid for one other aspect of our life. You two are going to adopt a baby in the future.
Possibly.
I could see that happening. Okay, this starts off mean, but it actually gets nice. You look like that annoyingly cute couple that is obviously so in love that everyone can see it, but doesn't hold hands in public.
Yeah, I am not like a huge
PDA.
person. It makes me uncomfortable when I see other people do it. Like, holding hands is fine, but like even sometimes like a quick kiss, I'm like, oh, like I feel like I'm making other people uncomfortable. So I'm really like worried about that. If I'm like really tired, I might like put my head on his shoulder in line, but that's the extent of it.
I'm going to assume you put your cart back in the cart return after you put your groceries in the car.
See, this is what the assumptions thing was supposed
This is
to
what
be.
I was
like
hoping
little
this would
things
be.
like this.
Yeah.
I'll park in the back of the parking lot, and I will still take the cart all the way back to the store. I can't leave it in the parking lot.
Neither can I. We both hate people who take advantage of people who it's their job to like put away a car, janitors who pick up trash. Like we hate people who take advantage of that and who litter or leave things messy. Like we're always like, leave it better than you found it. Leave no trace. How'd you feel about
The internet
those?
is mean.
Yeah, those were not
Actually, but some of it's
as...
nice.
Some people were really nice.
We left out a lot of the really mean ones because we don't want to put that energy out there or feed into it or anything.
We were thinking the assumptions would be like the you put your shopping cart back type of assumption, that they'd be more like lighthearted and kind of like hypothetical situations that would be funny.
Yeah. No, people kind of missed the mark on that. But that's okay. It still turned out to be like a helpful video because I think you'll be able to get to know us better and see a different side of us. And we might make another video kind of addressing these assumptions more in depth.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you want us to do kind of an updated about us kind of video.
Yeah, like if you don't know our story, where we're from, what we do, all that.
Yeah, not just like us as a couple, but like individually, like
About our families.
what we do professionally, our backgrounds, things like that.
Yeah.
But thanks so much for watching today, and don't forget to like and subscribe.